Hey everybody, my name's Zycres. Welcome back to everybody that's already been here and is already subscribed. To everybody that's new, this is going to be a completely different type of video that I'm going to be making. A mouse review on the glorious Model O. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the little intro I gave it there with the cinematic B shots or whatever you want to call it, but I don't have the proper equipment, so I'm sorry if sometimes it's a little shaky on the videos. But we're going to be going through this mouse. I'm gonna be giving my honest opinions on it, and the reason why I feel my opinions are valid is because I am a very competitive gamer, and I have tons and tons of hours on games that I'd probably be embarrassed to admit. But the main games that I do play, in case any of you guys are wondering, so you guys can get an idea of where I'm coming from. For those of you who don't know me or know whatever games I play Fortnite, currently playing lots of Destiny 2, League of Legends, and I've had countless hours on these games, and I feel I have become fairly good at them. And I think that when it comes to mouse searching out there on the market, it gets very difficult to try to find one that suits everybody's needs. When you guys watch this video and hear my opinions, remember that these are just my opinions, and you guys can feel however you want about the mouse. So the way I'm going to start out is with the positives, the pros about the mouse, and then we'll go into the cons later. But for a stat breakdown, this mouse absolutely kills it with the price point. $50 if you're going to be buying the matte version of this. There are two versions. There's a matte version and glossy version. There's matte black, matte white, and glossy black and glossy white. The glossy $60 US, or $59.99 if you want to be exact. Aside from the price, it also has an ascended cord, has G skates, 67 grams for the matte version and 68 grams for the glossy version. The G skates I actually found to be really amazing. They're such high quality skates for the mouse, and I was completely blown away by how well they Glorious made these, actually, because there's companies like Hyperglides, which there's a huge hype around those, and I thought the skates on these were just absolutely phenomenal. The way they go on the mouse pad, like when I first initially used it, I felt like they were just gonna fly off my table, because I've not used a mouse this light before. My previous mouse that we will actually get into was the G403 by Logitech, that weighs about 112 grams, I believe. That's with the weight, and then you could take off a couple of grams with the magnetic attachment below the mouse, but we'll talk about that later. And yeah, that change was pretty easy, actually. I was really surprised with how easy I was able to transition from a heavier mouse to pretty much the Glorious mouse, 67 grams. It was a very easy transition. I've already had a couple days now with this mouse, and I can already say that it feels like I've been using it for a long time. So some of the major things that stood out to me when using this mouse is just simply how easy it is to move across my mouse pad compared to my last mouse, the G403, which is like 107 grams, how I sort of mentioned earlier. But aside from that, this literally could just fly across the mouse pad, and I love the cable, just how seamless it is, and the fact that the cable itself is very protected. But in the packaging, one thing I do gotta note that I feel other reviewers have also mentioned is that the packaging sort of came with the cable bent at an angle, so it was sort of making a kink in there, and you want to just be careful whenever you're unboxing it. But aside from that, the boxing was absolutely pretty standard and easy to open. But as you can also see here, what I'm showing on the screen is just the design that I really enjoy. Just the fact of where the lights are placed, where the RGB is, on the mouse wheel and everything. the DPI color right there, the displayer, actually changes color whenever you click it based on the DPI level that you have it on. So there's different levels. Initially you have 400 DPI, which is yellow, and then 800, which is blue, 1600, which is red, and is also the default setting whenever you just plug in and start playing with the Model O. And there's green for 3200 speed of, you know, the DPI. Sorry if I don't sound professional. I just usually never do these types of videos, but I hope you guys enjoy because it's really taken a lot of effort, and I just want to make sure I'm giving my honest opinion. So aside from all the good things that I've said, there definitely are some bad things, but it's only because I feel I have to be searching for cons in this mouse, but it's very hard to find them. So I had to be very, very picky on what exactly I was going to be judging. But one thing that is actually worth pointing out for me that does affect me while I play is the button placement. The buttons are sort of placed in a awkward spot for my hand, or, you know, my thumb I should say, but that could just be depending on your guys' size of hand. And I feel like I was just very, very used to my old mouse, the Logitech G403, and the side buttons, the way they were placed just very, very conveniently, and I didn't have to move my thumb too much or, you know, stress it forward. Because now with the glorious Model O, I kind of move my thumb a bit forward to hit the button that's in front, but the back button is just very easy to click. And I also like how you know, the click response, I guess you call it, the way it just feels when I click it, because you know, I feel that I'm actually clicking it, if you guys could understand what I'm saying. Because some other mouses, their mouse buttons feel a bit janky or very loose, you know, and whenever I click it, sometimes it feels like I don't know, I have to like kind of press it a bit harder than how much I actually should be pressing it, just so that I know it's gonna register. But the buttons feel very, very sturdy, and they don't seem like they're gonna be moving anywhere. But another negative thing to me was the mouse scroll wheel. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe I'm just too used to the G403, but the G403 felt very, very smooth to, you know, just use and spin and click on it. And the Model O just feels a bit I don't know, like there's just more resistance to it whenever I'm spinning it, and I feel like I can't spin it as fast. But, you know, I feel like that could have to do with the indents that are actually in the scroll wheel. But I feel over time I'll just get used to it and not mind it at all, because I don't really mind my scroll wheel. It doesn't really affect the gameplay that much. I barely use it, but aside from some edit techniques on Fortnite. But other than that, you know, it's pretty nice for internet scrolling or whatever I'm gonna be doing. But I just wanted to point that out, just because it really stood out to me when I was using it in a bad way, just because it felt a little weird to me. But also, again, my opinion, and that probably comes down to personal preference. Some people say that the Logitech mouse scroll wheel is like very, very, very loose for them, and they don't like that feel. So, you know, it's subjective, just like all reviews over gaming products. But one thing I will say for sure, when it comes down to anyone that's wondering, is it worth it? I definitely believe it is absolutely worth it. I would spend my money on this again if it like breaks, or if I just wanted to go and get a gift for someone who really was looking for a mouse, or if I was recommending it to a friend. I would say, you know, if you have $50, man, and you're trying to spend only around that range and actually look for a good mouse that's gonna be great for competitive gameplay, I would say the Model O is definitely the way to go. If you are into light mouses and you don't mind having the wire, but you know, people obviously don't really mind using wire, because that's most of what what most people use. And actually, one thing to note is, well, for me, I didn't know exactly how much delay I was having until I moved over to the Model O mouse from the G403, because I used the wireless G403, and you know, it's marketed as 1 millisecond of delay, and so are other wired mouses. But I actually noticed after I plugged in the Model O that I was having just a smooth response with its optical sensor, and you know, that just was something that I wanted to point out. I'm not gonna get into the software side of things just because I haven't used it. I haven't even downloaded it, just because I'm not really interested in tweaking any of the settings, because I like 800 DPI. I like that it's already within the mouse's chipset, and that I could just plug it in and start playing and not have to, you know, mess with anything. But you could change the light settings for anyone that's into all that. You want to match your setup or whatever you want to do. You could change the light settings. There's different lighting patterns. You could do breathing, single color, tail, rave, wave, or just turn the LED off, whatever you want. Seamless breathing, and there's different colors, so you guys can go and mess with that. There's also, I know there's macro changes that you could do, or other DPI changes, but I'm gonna leave that up to you guys or another person to break down for you guys on YouTube. I'm just strictly giving how I felt about this mouse, my experience with it, and I would definitely recommend and say that it is worth it. Like I said, only $50 for the mat. That is, I mean, aside from shipping, but that is just a great deal for what you are getting when you look at the competitor mouses like Final Mouse, when it, you know, it's just going for resale and it's just going to insane prices. And no way I am gonna, you know, personally, no way I'm gonna be spending that much money on a gaming mouse when I have this option right here, the Model O. 67 grams, and I'm enjoying it. It's still a bit to get used to with the weight, but the curvature, like on the mouse clicks, they just feel just fine, and the mouse buttons on the side just feel fine. They feel sturdy. But like I said, aside from my thumb size, it's a little weird. But yeah, definitely would recommend. 100% worth it. If you want to spend the 60 for the glossy, I think the main difference is if you get sweaty fast, if you have like sweaty hands, you know, I'd probably just go with the matte. Or if you feel like in a cold environment, I guess, you know, maybe just stick with the glossy. Or you feel like you don't get sweaty while you play, maybe the glossy's for you. Or if you just want to try to save money, go with the matte, because it is $60 if you want to go with the glossy version of the mouse. So that is my, you know, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please leave a like, subscribe, share with your friends, you know, share this video around if you guys really would want to support me. I took some extra effort into this because this is the first time I've done something like this type of review. But let me know if you guys would like to see more types of these videos, because I do have, maybe I could do a review on my Amp Pro 2, my keyboard that you guys saw on, you know, other clips of the video. Subscribe and join the OG squad. Check out all the links below, my social medias, and join the Discord if you want to ask questions, or also ask questions in the YouTube comment section, and I'll always be getting back to anyone that has a question or just wants to say something or say hi. So yeah, thanks again. Sorry if I'm making this outro a little longer than it has to be, but peace out, guys. Okay, love y'all. Thanks for watching the vid.